Actually, while growing up, I knew little or more about sickle cell. Uh, it might be while growing up, I have friends around uh, sickle cell, but I wouldn't know because I had little knowledge about it. I got to know more about sickle cell when uh, one of my family member, my brother, started a sickle cell movement, and I got to know more about the sickle cell. Although before then, I knew a little, but when he started the sickle cell movement, I knew more because you find out that in relationships, people start relationship without knowing their genotypes, and eventually, when they are deep into the relationship, you find out that it's very hard for them to let go because they have invested so much emotion and time to it. Well, sickle cell is people mostly back then I can say they are ignorant of sickle cell, but in our era today, I feel people shouldn't be ignorant of sickle cell because enlightenment has come to play regarding sickle cell, and the more people get to know well about sickle cell, the better, because if they will engage in relationship, they should know their genotypes before involving themselves into any relationship. And another thing, the way sickle cell patients are treated around, I feel some are treated in a manner that they feel there's no aim living in life, because if they are in crisis and there's no one to come through for them and take care of them, they feel discouraged in life. You find out that even family members, they tend to give less attention to people with sickle cell. They along in line, they feel tired about their situation, and it helps them it discourages them, so to say. So I believe that people with sickle cell, they should be treated with love, care, and make them feel not like normal human beings in the society. Just like my brother used to say, that if they term them as sicklers, then why not term other people as malaria? Or if you have malaria, why don't they refer you as malaria, since they have sickle cell and they call them sicklers? So an illness is an illness. If one is sick, they should you have attention and treatment that they deserve. So I want to believe that sickle cell patients too should be given such attention and care so that they can feel valued in the society. While growing up, I heard the same thing too, that there's a certain age. Some do say when you reach this age of 20 and above, then you can beat sickle cell. Like if in between those age range, you didn't reach that age range, you'll be dead and gone. So while growing up, I had such mentality that okay, this is how sickle cell works. I was meant to believe that there are some that live with sickle cell up to the lifespan of like 80 and thereabout. So sickle cell, I feel, is not a death sentence. Like I said, a proper orientation needs to be given to such people who has such ideas that sickle cell is a death sentence, and maybe perhaps that's why they pay less attention to people with sickle cell, because they feel okay, anyway this person is going to die. So I feel sickle cell is not a death sentence, and if a person has a sickle cell and you show him that okay, he has a life to live, it helps in giving the person hope to live a little longer. Not that if the person has sickle cell and you treat him badly, he will tend to give up on how to live in life instead of to live to have hope to live more in life. The advantage of knowing genotype early is, let me start by, for example, if you know your genotype early, if you are venturing into a relationship, you already know your genotype early enough before you move further to going deep into the relationship. It will help in curtailing heartbreaks and emotional trauma in the relationship. Secondly, knowing your genotype early will help you know how you can manage such illnesses when it comes. For example, if you know your genotype is AS, you will try to know what illnesses is more common with the genotype that falls between your category that falls that AS. Then you know how you will manage it when it comes. And for example, if you are SS, you should know that okay, you will be vulnerable to more crises as often. So when it comes, you know how to manage it, the situation, and what to eat, what to drink to helps when you know your genotype at an early stage. I saw it in a paper. My parents had it that I am AA. So when I grew up and I knew that okay, there's what you need to know about your health or your system generally, genotype, blood group, and the rest. So I decided to go confirm myself. Okay, when I actually did the checkup myself, it was when I was about enrolling to Air Force recruitment. So we had the checkup done and the results showed that I was AA. So after that, still having more knowledge about how sickle cell works and the genotype, so I went again and I had a checkup done, and still the result shows the same thing, that I am AA. So that's how I got to know how my genotype is, or what genotype I belong to. Asking your partner in regards to relationship their genotype at as soon as possible is advisable, but to me, on a first date, I won't advise that, because a first date is a time for you to meet. First of all, know the kind of person you're venturing into relationship with. Then maybe as time goes on, a little after you have gotten to know the person, then you can ask of the genotype. It's not that they say you should ask as soon as possible. Then on the first day, you can go ahead to ask of the genotype. There are some people, when you ask, it might get them curious, or they might have a different opinion to that. Although there are some people that when you ask, it might work, but on my own opinion, I feel asking your partner's genotype on the first date is quite too hasty.